Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the February 11th, 2013 Raleigh Board of Selectmen. Reminder of everybody that this meeting is being videotaped and audio taped. And call the meeting to order. And first on the agenda is the Pledge of Allegiance. Chief Roderick, Fire Department is here. Could you lead us in the pledge, please?
Pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Chief. Okay, it is vote 2 after 7. Citizen query will begin at 7:05 and until 7:15. We have a public hearing at 7:15, and will be a continuation of that hearing because the person for Gateway is not here. Will not be able to attend tonight, so we'll do a continuation when we get to that point. First, we'll go to well, when we go into new business, and Chief is here and discuss the blizzard and other state of emergency. So with that, Chief, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Okay. Considering what's happened in the rest of the state and not too far from us, Raleigh came out of it pretty good. There was only one house that lost power, and that was early Friday. And that was it. It was a quiet storm for us. The highway department did a fantastic job keeping up with the snow. All the roads were passable Saturday morning. They weren't perfect, but they were passable. We could get things around if we had to. They've been working hard. They got all the main thoroughfares, the intersections all pushed back, and they'll work on the side streets start tomorrow and continue on with that. We had crews out today shoveling hydrants, and for the people that did shovel them, I appreciate it. There's some deep banks out there. The water department was going out tonight with a front end loader to do the really covered one, so we should be okay on that. Appreciate everybody not parking on the street and staying off the roads. It definitely helped the plow crews, from what I've been told. It made a big difference in not have to dodge cars. We had one little mishap that everybody knows about, but I won't divulge on that. The only thing I would say is, just so that we can keep in line with any potential aid. I don't know where we're going to sit, thresholds not being met or not, but a declaration of emergency would probably be in order, and then we can go from there.
We'll vote on that in a second. But yeah, we had one little incident out front here. Plow backed into the column of the portico, and the column came down in the roof. But we called the power company. Chief, you with me? And
they
power company came over.
They offered to assist, and within 10 minutes they had it.
They did a great job.
I had the temporary brace in there, so.
2 cross arms they put together, and they tacked it up there, and they did it in about 15-20 minutes.
Yeah,
got it all done. So they made it safe, and I got to give Mark Bixby and the crew a good slap in the back for what they did. So
yeah, that's good with everybody that put in an effort into this whole thing. I always kind of hoped that the planning that we did prior to prepared us for anything, and with having the extra people on it, it certainly made it easy for everything to go smooth. So I want to thank everybody that was involved.
Did a good job, Chief. And
I slept in my office, believe it or not. I was able to close the door too, but
Chief gave me a call about 3:30 in the morning. Unfortunately, the phone was in the other room, but I did get the call at 7 o'clock. So
yeah. Well, I did make 2 phone calls, and I hope I never have to wake up anybody again, because now I know what I sounded like when I got the phone call.
Well, That's it, Chief?
That's it.
That was kind of nice to come out of that storm the way we did.
Yes.
And I
Let's
think
hope we continue that way. That's 2 now that we've come out
And I
unscathed.
commend the highway department for the job they did.
Yeah.
I mean, the streets were in really great shape compared to other communities. I think the highway department did a stupendous job.
Yep.
Really did.
Yes, really terrific.
Yeah.
Really terrific.
And it was, I mean, I'm glad we were all off the roads and everybody for the most part, was, I was out Saturday only because I came over to the town hall because of the incident, and I didn't see any cars on the road whatsoever.
No.
It was good.
I was out a little bit, and I saw Stewie every once in a while on his tractor. That and snowplows, the only things I saw, so that was
It
good.
was good, and I think that got the streets all cleaned up.
Yep.
And we're in
Made it
good
easy.
shape.
That was the key, no traffic.
Yes. Yes.
Helps real a lot when you don't get the traffic and the snow don't get packed. You can plow,
Exactly.
get it down, you know.
And the streets look really good today. We know it's
Yeah,
kind
they're
of
not bad.
Bare paved.
They're not bad.
And I think the snow went down quite a bit today with the warm
Yeah,
temperature.
with the fog, and we'll probably lose some more too.
There's some fog out there now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's supposed to rain midweek?
Well, I don't know, it depends on what radio station you listen to.
Oh, okay.
Possible snowfall late Wednesday, early Thursday.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so the Board of Selectmen needs to vote to declare a state of emergency and to sign the emergency declaration. The Raleigh Board of Selectmen voted during a duly posted public meeting on February the 11th, 2013, to declare a state of emergency in the Raleigh, town of Raleigh, effective 8 a.m. on Friday, February 8th, 2013, through 4 p.m. on Tuesday, February 12th, 2013. Due to the blizzard of 2013 called Nemo. I don't care for them. I think gotta stop naming these things. That's
Nemo.
all there is to it. So,
It's the name of a hot dog stand.
yeah, Joni, but that's
Yeah.
exactly what it is. Yeah. We got too many blizzards to name.
Too much name.
Okay.
I'll make that motion that we declare the state of emergency in the town of Raleigh.
Jack, I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
It's one of those we have to all sign this, gentlemen. Okay, Bob.
Okay. Have a good night.
Well,
Thanks, Chief.
tell the guys at the
I will.
department, thank them
I will.
You'll
for
sleep
being,
tonight, Chief.
being prepared.
I slept last night too. Actually, passed out last night.
Thanks again, Chief.
Have a good night.
All right, good night.
No, I'm just
I didn't even flinch. You just let that pen go right over. You notice that?
We've got that practiced.
Yes, we do.
Thank you.
There we go, Joe. Thank you. Okay. Okay, moving on to letter from the Northeast. We'll go to general business. Northeast Mosquito Control Wetlands Management. Town of Raleigh has received a notice from the Northeast Mosquito Control and Wetlands Management concerning the FY14 budget. The chairman will read the notice into the record. Board of Selectmen needs to vote to either accept or not to accept their proposed budget and to authorize the chairman to sign off on the acceptance form. If I read the third page, Debbie, is that notice of public
yes,
meeting?
the notice.
Okay. Notice of public meeting to present and discuss its preliminary proposed budget for fiscal year 2014. Notice is hereby given that the Northeast Massachusetts Mosquito Control and Wetlands Management District will hold an informational public meeting 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. Thursday, February 14th at the Plum Island Taxpayers Association, otherwise known as PITA, P-I-T-A. Hall 8, Plum Island Turnpike, Newbury, Mass. 01951. To present the district's preliminary proposed budget for fiscal year 2014 and to receive comments and answer questions from the public and local public officials. A copy of the district's preliminary budget is available for inspection during regular business hours at the following locations: Newbury Port City Hall, Board of Health, Newbury Town Hall, Board of Health, and district website at www.northeastmassmosquito.com. That's all one word. That's NORTHEASTMASSMOSQUITO.com. The total dollar amount of the district's preliminary proposed budget for FY14 is $1,589,537 level funded. And for fiscal year immediately preceding are the following. FY13 was $1,589,537. FY14 is $1,589,537. The member municipalities within the district, together with each municipality's estimated proportionate rate, expressed both as a percentage and as a dollar amount as set forth in page 1 of district's budget. If the composition of the district changes because one or more municipalities join or withdraw from the district, the budget will be adjusted accordingly. Copies of the preliminary proposed budget will be available for inspection at the meeting. Reasonable time will be accorded to those in attendance to ask questions and to offer comments. Comments may also be sent directly to the Executive Director of the State Reclamation and Mosquito Control Board, 251 Causeway Street, Boston, Mass. 02114 by April 15th. A copy of this notice and preliminary budget has been sent to each of the cities and towns, Chief Financial Office, and Board of Health. So, enclosed, this is a letter from Northeast Massachusetts Mosquito Control and Wetlands Management District, dated January 13, 2013. Attention, Chief Financial Officer. Enclosed, please find our 2014 proposed budget, level funded, our public meeting notice and assessments for all our towns in the district. We have been asked by the State Reclamation Board that we receive a signature accepting the proposed budget. We have enclosed a return envelope for your convenience. And with that, I have a motion from the board. Oh, yes, okay, you're right. Let's go over it, and
The last page.
last page, okay, Raleigh, FY13, district assessment, Raleigh was $54,310. FY14 district assessment for Raleigh will be $33,700, wait a minute, $54,310.
I move that we accept the level funded budget for the Northeast Mosquito Control and Wetlands Management District.
I have
Second.
I have a motion, I have a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, done. Okay, it is now 7:15. Citizen query is now over. Okay, we have a public hearing. Mr. Coughlin could not make the hearing tonight, so I ask for a continuation of the hearing. Do we need to vote to continue the hearing?
Yes.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, could you please follow the guidelines that I've prepared for the board?
A state that can continue the public hearing from February 4th, 2013. Read the public hearing notice. The Raleigh Board of Board of Selectmen shall hold a public hearing Monday, January 14th, 2013, 7:15 p.m. in the Raleigh Town Hall, 139 Main Street, on the application by Joseph Coughlin of Gateway Realty Trust for the permit under Section 8.6, illuminated signs of the Raleigh Protective Zoning Bylaws for an externally lit sign at 141 Newburyport Turnpike, also identified as parcel 16 on Raleigh Assessors Map 14 in the retail district. Any person interested in wishing to comment should attend this hearing. Selectmen will accept written comments. Raleigh Board of Selectmen Chairman Robert Snow.
Mr. Chairman,
Yeah. Board of, so, okay, ask for a motion.
I'll make a motion that we continue the hearing to 7:15 p.m. on March 4th, 2013.
Have a motion, do I have a second?
Excuse me.
Oh, wait a
Mr. Chairman,
minute.
the board should open the hearing
Okay.
and then
Have a,
discuss the fact that you need to reschedule it, and then vote to continue it to a date certain in time.
open the hearing, and a motion to open the hearing, please.
I'll make that motion that we open the public hearing.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor of the roll call vote?
I, Jack Cook.
I, Joe Perry.
Aye, Robert Snow.
Hi, Bob Barry.
I, Stu Delzell.
Aye, Robert Snow. Okay, so, Mr. Coppola's out of town and won't be able to make tonight's meeting, suggesting that we, Debbie has suggested that we continue the hearing to 7:15, March 4th, 2013. We will have a full Board of Selectmen at that hearing. Mr. Coppola will be available that evening. Call for a motion to continue the hearing at 7:15 on March the 4th, 2013.
So moved.
I have a motion.
Second.
I have a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay, fine, we're off modularly, yeah.
The minutes for January the 28th, 2013. Has everybody read them?
Yes.
Any comments? Do I have a motion to accept the minutes for January the 28th, 2013?
I'll make that motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Moving on to old business, discuss election and annual town election date. Last week, Town Clerk Susan Hazen met with the selectmen to discuss the special election for the open governor's seat, Senate seat. The Senate seat. She was unable to attend the evening's meeting. She has submitted the attached email letter for the board's consideration. In the meantime, the state auditor sent a letter to the governor and the legislature urging them to provide cities and towns with upfront funding to cover the cost of special primary and general elections to the open U.S. Senate. To the Raleigh Board of Selectmen from Susan Hazen. First of all, please accept my apology for not being able to attend tonight's meeting in person with regards to the agenda item I submitted last week, suggesting merging the annual town election with the recently scheduled April 30th state primary. The Secretary of State's office has recently passed legislation that would allow towns to piggyback their local elections into the April 30th primary date. The packet I shared with you at the time detailed a cost savings of between $1,500 and $2,500. It would save in physical efforts of setting up and breaking down 2 full elections within 2 weeks. We would, however, still assume the cost for printing our own ballots, coding, an optical scan flash drive, and returning the duplicate check in and out tables, one set for the primary and the other one for the town election. But cost savings aside, I remain concerned about moving the date of the town election for a couple of reasons. One, the deadline dates for this election and the town meetings would have already been published, and we should avail ourselves of this option. All current election deadlines would be moved forward by a full 2 weeks. Therefore, the last day to take out nomination papers are now listed as Friday, March the 22nd, would become Friday, March the 8th, and so forth. Two, it has been made very clear to us over the last few years that Raleigh voters strongly prefer to have town meeting occur before the election, and this option would once again put the election a full 2 weeks ahead of May 6th town meeting. I understand that the clerks from Newbury and Salisbury are interested in combining the two elections, but it also is my understanding that due to the Triton Agreement, all three towns would have to agree on an election date, currently the second Tuesday of May. Chairman Snow indicated last week that he would check with his counterparts in Newbury and Salisbury as well as Triton administration for further input. Finally, either election date is fine with me. Each has its own set of challenges. We will work together to assure either scenario a success. Respectfully submitted, Susan G. Hazen, Town Clerk. Okay, and then there's also a little note here from the publication. State would provide upfront funding for the election. State auditors Susanna Bump, is it?
Bump, yeah.
Bump, sent a letter today urging Governor Deval Patrick and the legislative leaders to provide upfront funding to the cities and towns to cover the local cost of the upcoming special primary and general elections for the U.S. Senate. Bump estimated the statewide cost would be $8.2 million. Without upfront funding, communities would have to be forced to divert monies already dedicated to other purposes to finance this unforeseen event. She wrote, given that the Commonwealth's reimbursement to municipalities for the costs of extending the polling hours is largely provided in advance of the statewide biannual elections, pursuant with Chapter 503 of the Acts of 1983. This is not an unusual request. Bump pointed out that the Division of Local Mandates, which is part of her office, determined that 2009 the state law governing special elections imposed a state mandate subject to the provisions of the local mandate law. The legislature has sent to the governor a bill, H-53, that would set the state primary for April 30th and the state election for June 25th. The governor is expected, that's not the Vikings, that's my iPad, sorry about that. The governor is expected to sign the bill. In a download letter from Auditor Bump calling for state elections. That's it. So, gentlemen, open this up for discussion.
Did you get any indication from Newbury or Salisbury?
I called up and I called the selectman's office today in Salisbury. They were going to meet tonight, but some of their selectmen are out of town, so they can't get a quorum, so they won't be having the meeting tonight. So they will not be voting. But I talked to the town clerk up there, Wilma McDonald, and she said that they're going to have some sort of a meeting within the next few days, because next Monday night is holiday. So with everything it would have to be pushed up in the dates. They're gonna have to make a decision really quick about what to do. I spoke to Joe Story, chairman in Newbury, this afternoon several times, and Joe told me their meeting is tomorrow, the selectmen's meeting, and looks like they are probably gonna vote for it. Okay, so that's where we stand. So how does the board feel about this?
I think that it's important that all three of us vote the same. And to stagger one for the other or whatever. Because it means we have to elect to do of the 3 towns, like on the school committee race, you know, if you,
Mm-hmm.
to set, you know, it'd be fair that if you had candidates, Raleigh picks one, and people follow and say, well, they voted for this or they did that, it would be good the same day, you know what I mean? That results are made that night.
Well, because of the Triton agreement, if we were to vote right now to not piggyback on the primary election and have our meeting the second Tuesday in May, then all 3 towns have to do that.
The same,
They don't have a choice.
right,
As long as one does it,
yeah.
everybody does it.
But it looks like what you're saying, Chairman Snow, that it might be that they'll all follow suit.
I have the feeling, just from talking to everyone, that they would like to have the election, you know, to combine it all into one. Now, there are, you know, there's probably going to be some political ramifications here, because there's going to be some people who think that I'm not going to be, you know, following the news, and then all of a sudden they're going to show up on the 6th of May, not the 6th, but the 14th of May for the election. That's one of the hazards. All I can think of is maybe we get some signs out in front of the town hall, in front of the police station, and maybe down on 133, and something just to say, that, you know, the election is the 30th, that town election, not just the primary.
Yeah, it does mean moving up the, anybody who's taking out papers has to take them up by Friday, May 8th instead of May 22nd.
March.
That would be
March.
March,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, yes.
So they'll need them out by, instead of the 22nd, the 8th of March. So, you know, I'm always kind of,
Deb, what does do to our schedule for the town report?
Well, and it wouldn't have really anything to do with the town report or the town meeting unless there's an override.
Well, generally, the warrant has the ballot in it, right?
The town report will be for the preceding calendar year of 2012.
Okay, but it also has information on town
warrant.
meeting and election.
The warrant is always the last article of the town, the ballot is always the last article of the annual town meeting warrant.
Right.
So-
That's where we run into trouble last
Well,
time.
that's what I think Mr. Snow was saying, and Mrs. Hazen has clearly put out 2 very important notes in her email letter to the board. We've already publicized the election. Of course, it's in our bylaw, but she's already put notices out about nomination papers are available and when to take them back. And secondly, if there is an override ballot question this year, the wording on the ballot question must be approved by the Board of Selectmen not less than 35 days before the date of the election. And I haven't counted back based on this new scenario of a new election date. I have this written down.
Well, it'll be sometime in the middle of April.
Yeah, it would actually be, if it was moving it to the new date of the 30th, I mean, it'd be into March. So
March,
you'd
right.
have,
About the 25th.
yeah, and so by then, that's the final wording. By then, you would have some idea if you're even having an override or anything else like that on, or any other ballot question for that matter. And I do know, one year we did have an election before the town meeting. And
That's-
I know that
quite a few people upset about that.
there were a lot of Rowley voters that expressed a lot of
Dissatisfaction.
correct the Board of Selectmen. So looking at it from a town perspective, what is in the best interest for the town, you really have to weigh that. I said that the
That
town
would
clerk
keep
has
the town
already
meeting
done.
the same, though, right?
Pardon me?
meeting-
Town
Stays the
meeting
same.
would be, stay the same.
Right.
The only thing's gonna change is put this up ahead of town meeting.
Right.
Papers would all have to be 3 weeks, be in by 3 weeks from this Friday. That would be, as I figure it on the calendar. It's for you know, for nominate, papers to take out to run for office. So,
This is gonna change a lot of things. Usually you have, like, take them on Friday, and then they give it to Monday to
Yep.
turn them in. I mean, you have up to a point to take them out, and then you get like, what,
Right.
2 days, is
Well,
it, 3 days?
That's
Usually to turn
yeah.
back in.
That would be 3 weeks from today, I believe.
You know,
To take the papers
The
out.
notices have already been gone out by the town clerk, that's her point. There are a lot of assumptions for people that have already been sent out and published as the election timetable. Her calendar's already been published, so that is a concern if people come back and, you know, they've been out of town and they're weighing a decision on whether or not to pull out nomination papers for something. That may have been arbitrarily changed while they were away and didn't realize or couldn't get the papers or couldn't get the signatures done and completed in time. So that's, I think, the biggest issue for the selectmen to consider.
Now, Susan's not here tonight, otherwise we'd, have her come in and ask how many papers are out, and if we can notify everybody of.
Well, this would put the other two
Yeah.
towns in the same predicament.
They're
I
on the
mean,
same predicament.
Yeah.
If we were just voting Raleigh, it's
Yeah.
different.
Yeah,
But this school committee thing is a big thing.
Yeah, I talked to,
know.
I talked to Paul Lees today, and he was trying to get back, give me some information, but he couldn't get back. He called me up and he said he couldn't get, to speak to other committee members and to get me some information. But, yeah, and, we're also gonna have, people, the grassy knoll people, the conspiracy people that you're moving this because, but that's normal. We'll have to live with that.
Well, it's unusual. I mean, we got something coming up that Senator Kerry got appointed,
Yeah.
Secretary of State, and this brought in it's a statewide issue with everyone.
On the other hand, if this is a primary election, so an unenrolled voter in the town may not get the information about the date, the change of the town election,
Right.
and not go down to the polls because they're unenrolled and have no interest in a Republican or Democratic ballot.
Right.
So those are the people, I think, the population group who then try to say, well, hey, when is the town election coming up, and not know. I don't know, there's just those kinds of things you need to be concerned. This isn't a general election where we did one time, we had a town election to fill a selectman seat during a general election in November. We had an open selectman seat.
It was reversed.
Yeah.
But that was that was a general election. The concern here is this is a primary election.
How's the board feel?
I'm leaning towards not changing and staying with the May 14th.
Okay.
I think it would be less complicated for us if we did not change it.
Yep. Okay. Steve?
I worry about the legal aspects of it if we did change where notices have already been out for the day of election and nomination papers and all that.
Okay. Jack?
I would totally agree.
Okay. It
Make
sounds
up
like the board. if-
Now, would this be, if we vote to keep it the same, what does this mean if one or two of the other towns want to go forward with something different? How is that going to come back to us, Debbie?
Well, I think as Mr. Perry said, it has to be unanimous decision.
Yeah, I
Right.
I believe.
If we vote, then everybody has to do it our way.
Oh, okay. I'll make the motion then, that we keep it the same, as printed like Sue proposed.
I have a motion.
I'll second that.
I have a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Unanimous. Okay.
Quick question.
Sure.
When do we get together with the other two towns of Board of Selectmen?
We're still working on something to
Okay.
to get together.
This would have been easy if we
Yeah,
were able to get together, you know.
But they're,
I under-
unfortunately, they're out
No,
of town,
I
so.
understand.
Yeah. Well, this is a good thing, I think, a vote for us, unanimous.
Yeah.
It'll go to Newbury, they meet tomorrow
Tomorrow
night, am
night.
I right?
Right.
In Salisbury might have to, wait until they get a thing, and maybe Newbury will say, well, we'll go with Raleigh. It's up to their Board of Selectmen what they choose to do.
Okay. Okay. Town Administrator update. The Historic District Commission approved our proposal for re-siding the annex with cement board. Attaches the certificate of appropriateness. Sarah Bork has suggested to Doreen and me that we consider putting insulation in the annex. We're working on getting some quotes for the installation. The selectmen need to vote to authorize Debbie to file an application with the CPC for funding for this project. We needed to clarify with Homescapes, the company that gave us the cost proposals, that Massachusetts prevailing wage was taken into consideration. It has not been, and the recalculations increased the proposal by $15,860 from $66,890 to $82,750 if the installation of the gutters and downspouts, as well as the scraping, sanding, patching, and painting with 2 coats of 100% acrylic paint on dental molding and frieze and soffits are included. The cost is approximately $95,950. So, certificate of appropriateness has been, this will be the following work: re-siding the annex building, including cement board, and the cement board siding is to match the existing conditions as 4 inches to the weather, and the clapboard are to be smooth side out. So with that, any discussion from the board? Do I have a motion from the board?
I'll make a motion, Mr. Chairman, that we authorize Debbie to file an application with the CPC for funding for this project.
I have a motion. Do I have a
Second.
I have a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And that includes Debbie and Doreen and Amy are working on getting some proposals on insulation.
That's,
Ask for that also.
Yeah, so what I do is just include that in the overall cost.
Right.
When we get those proposals in, I'll just
okay.
Sounds
send it
good.
out to you so you're aware of that.
Okay, old business, Triton budget update. Selectman Perry will give the board an update on the development of the Triton budget. With that, Joe, I'll turn it over to you.
I went to the, it used to be called the Budget Advisory Committee meeting last Thursday. And it's the budget, I can't think of,
District Communications.
District Communications Committee. And it was very nice. It was, the Representative Mira was there, the newly elected O'Connor Ives from Newburyport was there, and Senator Bruce Tarr was there, Senator Ives was there. Brad Hill couldn't make it because he was at the Ipswich meeting. Bruce repeated what he said here, that basically we could expect level funding from the state, and I suggested that the budget from the school committee be level funded also, which was not very well taken by Robin Williams. But they are in negotiations within the committee to develop their school budget for fiscal year 14. There will be a meeting on Wednesday night, and then there will be a public hearing coming up on the budget.
Okay. Joe, I'm looking on page 5 of the Triton Regional School Agreement, and I see they have looks like these are the 3 scenarios for FY14. And we said that we would give our 2.5% in new growth which would give half of that would be $216,991. And that comes under scenario number 3 here. And that would, under that scenario, Triton would take from the E&D $208,485, correct?
Right.
Okay. Now, I'm a little confused because I come back to page 3, and then the operating assessment. There's another one here where they have Raleigh at $283,875.
Yes, that one on page 3 was figuring in some of what the proposals that came in from the principals to the school committee,
Yeah.
and figuring it was almost a preliminary figure that they were using.
Is this their hard figure?
No,
Oh, no, this is not their hard figure.
no.
Okay.
As far as I know, right now, as of today, there isn't a high figure yet.
There's no hard figure. Okay. So, right now, because last year we came up with, was a scenario A, B, C,
Right,
and I think there was a D in there at the very end.
right.
Okay. Okay, so you're gonna meet on Wednesday night.
Wednesday night, I'm going to attend the school committee meeting. It is a school committee meeting where I can offer a comment during the citizens' query, but other than that, I can't speak at the meeting.
Now, this budget, this is level funded. This is what we're saying, the $216,991. That's that scenario 3.
They're talking about level services,
And
right?
they're talking level services. And I would take that level services is this budget on page 3. But of course, they're not really sure, right?
Right,
Joe?
right.
When are they gonna be sure of what?
They will present have an open meeting as they did last year, where we spoke. I was one of the speakers that I asked them to consider the town's ability to pay. That, I believe, is towards the end of the month. Let's see, tomorrow is what, the 13th? I think it is the 27th. I'm not sure. I will get that date for you.
Now, I don't have the figures in front of me, but we're above our funding over the years.
Right.
I think we're as of last year, Debbie, what are we, $1.2 million above our funding?
Well, according to the table on page 3, Mr. Chairman, at the top, in FY13, the town of Rowley's minimum local contribution is set by the Department of Education, $6,474,442.
Okay.
And then the fiscal 14 number is $6,558,226
26.
million.
Right, that would be the minimum local
That was
contribution.
a contribution,
And our foundation budget is $2 million over that.
$2 million over that. Okay. And when you presented the level funded of the 216,000, that wasn't received well?
No, the comment that I made and that I offered at the meeting was a level funded based on last year's figures, not even considering the 216,000 that we offered this year, because I felt that they were coming in with figures over and above that.
And then
And
last
I was
year's,
hoping that they were going to at least consider our figure. We put it in writing, we put it in the letter, we stated that we would do the matching like we did last year for 216,000. And I really believe that there are some that are not listening.
I mean, they have to understand that we have to, have to run the town.
Mr. Chairman, the selectmen also included in that letter to the school committee, as requested by the school committee, questions about the health insurance benefits. We haven't received anything in writing in response to that.
No, we haven't.
Can you inquire about that?
Yes, I will.
Anything else that was in that letter that we
Um,
said, if I can't remember?
Well, it was really focusing on the health insurance benefit is the big portion, and the town had worked with the municipal unions here to switch to the tier plan, and the town of Raleigh pays a ratio of 52.5 to 47.5%. And I believe that Triton pays employees and retirees the same ratio of 70-30 split.
Could you inquire with that?
I will.
Okay. I mean, Raleigh is a very lean and mean town, as I've said before, in the past 3 years as we've gone into budget negotiations with Triton. And you know, we need to run the town too. We need, money for services. You know, very lucky last year, fortunate. With salt and ice, but we don't know what the rest of the winter's gonna be like this year, and we've already had one heck of a storm. What that's gonna cost us, but as we go on, I'm just not comfortable with just asking
Right.
for a level services budget because it's different from a level funded budget.
It is, it is.
Very
And
much
as
so.
Senator Tarr and Representative Hill pointed out, that what we can expect from the state is a barely level funded
And
budget.
there-
And that concerns me, that we could receive less monies back from the state.
And their assumption, I believe in Triton, tell me if I'm wrong, Joe, but they're looking at the governor's budget if it's gonna go through. And again, we heard from Representative Hill and Senator Tarr that they weren't confident, and people on the other side of the aisle from them, didn't sound like they were confident.
No,
were
they're
gonna
not.
vote for it. So,
Right. And they considered that a high water mark, that the House would be considerably lower and the Senate might be a little bit higher, but with the budget that proposed by the governor, they didn't see it going through in its form as presented.
With that, Joe, will you come back and report to us in
I will.
2 weeks? All right. Thank you. Any other questions from the board? Joe, thank you very much for your update. Okay, with that, make some announcements. Raleigh Food Pantry is in need of donations. The Raleigh Food Pantry is open Tuesdays from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. and Thursdays from 5:30 p.m. to 7 p.m. They are in need of anything to give them as fast as the food is coming into the pantry, it is going out. So again, you can make your drop off at the library or at the food pantry. Again, the food pantry's hours are Tuesdays 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. and Thursdays 5:30 p.m. to 7 p.m. The town has the following vacant seats: Planning Board full member, Planning Board associate member, and Zoning Board of Appeals associate, 3 open seats. Battery recycling box is located in the town hall and also in the library, and also there's a box in the annex, correct?
Yes.
And there's one right out here in the hall, right across from Susan Hazen's office. You have any D batteries, C batteries, or any kind of small dry cell batteries you want to discard, don't throw them in the trash, bring them and drop them off here at the library, town hall, or in the annex.
Right.
I'll let you do this one.
Thank you. The Friends of the Raleigh Public Library are putting on their 11th annual Some Like It Hot chili cook-off on Saturday, March 9th, 2013. It will run from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. at the Governor's Academy in Byfield, and I'll be happy to see you there. I'll be selling tickets at the door. It's a fun time. There will be entertainment and some great chili. So I encourage everybody to attend.
That's a great time.
It is.
They have judges this year, or are they?
Yes.
Oh, okay. You know,
Unfortunately, I won't be one of them.
unfortunately, yeah.
I enjoyed that. We had some fun with that.
Yeah, that's good food. Okay, motion to go to executive session. Chairman calls for a motion to go to executive session for the purpose of conducting contract negotiations with non-union personnel and not to return to open session. Member of the board make a motion.
I'll make that motion. We're gonna do executive session and not return to regular session.
Do I have a second?
Second,
With a roll call vote.
Jack Cook?
Joe Perry.
Robert Snow.
I wrote, hey.
I, Stu Delzo.
Good night, everyone. We'll see you in 2 weeks. Next week is the holiday, just a reminder. Good night now. Thank you.